to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sonia and I would love it if you could subscribe. And if you're already an existing subscriber, welcome back. So this is going to be my makeup I finished in 2021 video. I am so excited to be filming this because I cannot believe how many products I've used up in 2021 because I have been doing project pans. There has been some that I have finished outside of projects, but mainly a lot of these have been finished in my projects. I'm going to do it category by category so you can see how many I've finished. Now don't get me wrong, I've not used like a huge amount of every single category. There's going to be some categories that haven't got anything. I know, for example, blush. I don't have a blush. I didn't finish a blush this year, but that is fine. So we're just going to go through category by category, and then at the end we'll tally up how many products I've used up in 2021. Let's get started. Starting off with primers, I finished 9 primers this year, which is amazing. Some of them are full size, some of them are minis. So let's get started. Some of these are also very dirty because they've been sat in a box all year. Especially like this one, I finished this one quite early in 2021, so you'll have to ignore if they are dirty. But this is the Kiko Radiant Boost. I absolutely love this primer. I haven't repurchased it because I've got so many primers that I need to get through. But I am absolutely 100% going to be repurchasing this. I miss this out of my collection. I'm actually going to repurchase this in 2022. You know how I feel about that one. I absolutely love it. This one is the Rimmel Lasting Finish. I didn't love this. I panned it in my project pan, but I didn't love it. I didn't hate it enough to not want to use it, but I also didn't love it either. Not something I would recommend, not something I would repurchase again. It also came out quite blue, which is quite random for a primer, but I found that this came out quite blue toned on my skin, and then it took a while to blend in, but it did eventually, but just not something I would repurchase. We then have this one, which I think was quite a recent finish. I think I might have finished this actually in like October, November. This is the Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Blurring Primer. I didn't like this. This primer made some of my foundations in my collection not look great in the areas I put this. So I put this mainly in like my T-zone area or where my pores were to blur them. I've got quite a few pores, especially recently, but I didn't like this. It didn't sit well with the foundations I was using. I definitely want to try the hydrating one. I think there's an illuminating one of this as well, isn't there? But I didn't like this one and I wouldn't get this blurring one again. A primer I absolutely loved and I would repurchase again and will be repurchasing again is this one from Ciate. It is the Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. I love the way that this made my makeup look. It was hydrating. I don't know if you can see because there is a little bit left in the bottom, but it did have some beads on like in it. I say beads, I don't know whether they were beads or not, but what they went onto your skin, and then when you blend it into your skin they burst and give that hydration. I loved this. It was only a little mini, but I'm going to be repurchasing this full size in the future. The next thing we have is this one. This one's from The Ordinary. This is the High Spreadability Fluid Primer. Again, I didn't hate this one. The smell of this one was just so weird to me, and it did leak, so I had to be a bit careful when I used it. Yeah, this has such a weird smell to it. Not one I would get again, but one I did finish up completely. This again was another one that was in a project. I think, so this one, I think this one might have been in my Project 10 Uses. I don't know whether that was in a project. This one was in my project pan, not one I would get again. Then we have this one by Smashbox. This is a photo finish primer. Not my favourite from Smashbox. I much prefer the primerizer to this, but I did use this little mini because, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not the worst primer ever, but it's not my favourite either, and I wouldn't get this one again. I then have the Lise Watier Base Illuminating Primer. This was nice. This was a nice primer, but oh my god, this is expensive. This is super expensive, and I would definitely say the Kiko one does something very similar to this, so I wouldn't need to spend the money on this one when this one is less than £20. This one I think was something stupid like £50+. I'm not going to buy that when I know I absolutely love this Kiko one. So it was nice to use. It was only a little mini. I got this in a subscription box, but not something I would repurchase again. But if you have this, try it because it is a nice primer. And then I have these two from Illamasqua. So they are different products. We have the Hydra Veil and we have the Beyond Veil. These were quite recent products I finished. I won't repurchase these. If you've watched my videos recently, you will know why. I don't like the texture of these. I find that because you have to use your finger to scoop up the product as well, I get too much product, so I'd much prefer to just use like another primer. Like I said, this one is an absolute holy grail. I love this one and I love this one as well, so I'd much prefer to buy those over this. But if you have these, try them because they aren't bad, they are hydrating. One of them has a bit more of a glow to it than the other one, but just not something I would pick up again. So I finished 9 primers in 2021. That is crazy considering some people like only have 9 primers in their collection or less. I have so many primers that I am trying to work my way through them, and I'm really happy with this category, and I got a 9 out of my collection. Brilliant. Next we're going to talk about foundation, and I have finished so many foundations. Okay, so here are the foundations I finished. There is 6 foundations I finished in 2021, which is amazing. I can't believe I used that many. So this one here was the one I first started to use in 2021, and then I finished all of the rest of them. This one is meant to be a powder, but I did use it as a foundation, but we'll get to that. So the first one we have here is the Bourjois Healthy Mix. This used to be a favourite of mine when I wasn't using it so consistently in like projects and stuff. You can't get Bourjois anymore in the UK anyway, but this to me is definitely more of an everyday foundation. I can't get this again anyway, so I can't even repurchase it even if I wanted to. But I'm glad I managed to finish it because this was getting quite old in my collection. We then have this one, which is my last foundation I finished at the end of 2021. This one I think I only finished last month. This is the NYX Born to Glow foundation. I don't like this. Again, similar to the Bourjois one, when I wasn't using this consistently, I did like it, and I think it was the primer combination I was using that was the reason I liked it. But when I was using it with like other primers that I finished and just other primers in general to the one that I usually use, I didn't love this. It was one of those foundations where when you touched your face, it just went all over your hands. The foundation would just remove off your face no matter how much powder you put on, and obviously we're in a mask wearing time, this just moved and took all of the makeup off like that area of your face. Not something I would buy again, which is a shame because I do love my glowy foundations, but this just wasn't for me. The next one we have is this one, and this is the Kiko Liquid Skin Second Skin Foundation. I didn't hate this foundation. If I remember rightly, because like I said, this was at the beginning of the year, this didn't take me long at all to finish. This was quite a liquidy foundation, but I didn't hate this foundation. I was glad once it was done, just because I'd been using it for, I think it was at least 4 months straight, because I had it in my project, which was in 2020 as well. I don't hate this. This isn't a foundation I think I would go out and buy again. It's not like a holy grail. I've got some holy grails, and there's actually a holy grail one which is an empty here. I think remembering back, I didn't hate it. But like I said, I finished this pretty early in 2021, and that's quite a long time ago. Next one we have is this, and this is the Bare Minerals Mineral Veil. So I think this is meant to be a powder, but I used it as a foundation because what was happening was when I was trying to use this as a powder, it was just too heavy on my skin. I have really dry skin, so I didn't need it. I didn't need a foundation and then a powder like this, so I just used this as a foundation, and I liked it that way. It was easy to use. It wasn't a heavy foundation the way that I used it, and yeah, I mean, I don't think I would get it again. I think there was one recently that someone mentioned, I think it might have been Jessica Braun, that there was an under eye powder that she said is amazing, so I might be tempted to look at that, but I won't get this one again. I just used it up for that purpose, but it's not something I would repurchase. Okay, my absolute favourite foundation, this is a holy grail. I have 2 of these in my collection. I have one I'm using, one as a backup. I love this. This is the Rimmel Lasting Radiance foundation. I got every bit I could out of this. Yeah, I can't rave about this enough. It is my absolute favourite. This is buildable if you like a medium coverage, but you can build it up and it does sit well. It does look like it's got sparkle in it, but it doesn't show on the skin. I honestly can't rave about this enough. I absolutely love it. I will continue to keep purchasing it, and I really hope Rimmel never discontinue this because I love it. And then we have this one. This is the Kiko Ocean Feel. So I've got 2 Kiko foundations I finished this year. This one was definitely more lightweight. This was something that I bought to take away when I went to Spain in 2019. So something just like light for that hot weather. I didn't mind this. Would I realistically go out and repurchase it? No, but I'm glad I at least tried some Kiko foundations, and I think the only one really realistically out of all of this that I would repurchase would be this one. But it was nice to try. I think apart from this one, I think all of the other foundations were in projects on my channel. But yeah, 6 foundations in 2021. I am thoroughly impressed with that, and I'm so happy to have got 6 out. I don't think I even have 6 in my collection anymore. Foundation is a category in my collection that I don't have a huge amount in. I don't know whether I'll be able to finish 6 next year, just because I don't, like I said, I don't even think I've even got 6. I'm not sure. I don't think it's that much more than 6, but I'm so happy with that. Also, I just found this in my box, and this is another primer. So it is the Porefessional primer. This is a classic. I think everyone knows about this. Sorry if you can see the products over there. This is a classic. Everyone knows about it. This is something I use in, like, for my pores, so just to smoothen out that area. I always seem to have one of these in my collection. They somehow managed to come back into my collection. I like them. It's not my absolute favourite primer ever, but it is one that I do use. So that is actually 10 primers I've finished. Next we have concealer, and I've only finished one concealer in 2021. I tried really hard to finish my Wet n Wild one, but unfortunately I didn't finish it. I'm hoping that will be featuring in my 2022. But this was the concealer I finished in 2021. It is just the little mini NARS concealer, the Radiant Concealer. Didn't love this. This is a classic for a lot of people, but I just found myself not in love with it. It wasn't a bad concealer. It wasn't a favourite. Concealer is one of those things for me that I still haven't really found a favourite. I think I might have found one I do like, but I haven't used it enough to say it's a favourite. But there is one in my collection at the moment that I do think could become a favourite, but this unfortunately wasn't one of them. And it's a shame because I have heard a lot of people rave about this, but unfortunately not for me. Okay, the next thing we have is powder, and again I only finished one powder in 2021. That's fine. I completely finished this. Like, this is gone. This is dried on. I love this powder. I've already repurchased this. It's already in my collection. This powder just makes your skin look filtered. It looks flawless. I think that's what it's called, isn't it? Airbrush Flawless Filter. So yeah, it does make it look flawless. Now, if I don't use the right primer, or if I don't have like something hydrating on my skin, it does kind of borderline looking a little bit dry on my skin. But otherwise, this looks absolutely beautiful. I mean, I've repurchased it, so that should say everything really. Okay, next we have is bronzer. And I finished 2 bronzers in 2021, and they're both from the same brand. So the first one we have is the Benefit Hoola bronzer. I'm so glad I finished this because this was the oldest bronzer in my collection and it was getting old. I don't even want to say how long I've had this because you will definitely judge me. But it was old, so I managed to completely finish it. This isn't the right shade of Hoola anymore for me. Hoola Light is my shade, so I wouldn't get this one again, but I do really like the formula of Benefit's bronzers. I think they are worth it, and when I first bought this, this was the only shade you can get, but they have such a big shade range now for these bronzers. And like I said, Hoola Light is my shade now because, like I said, I'm so pale. So I did finish this, and I've finished this one recently. This one's completely gone as well. And yeah, so these are the same formula, they're just different colours, and I would buy this one over this one again just because of the colour of it. It works better for me. But I finished 2 bronzers in 2021. Super happy with that. Okay, now I have highlight, and this is the one highlight I finished in 2021. I cannot believe I'm actually saying I've finished this because I've been working on this all year. So this is the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Beauty Light Wand. This is a beautiful highlight. I know in previous update videos in my project pan I was saying I was just getting bored of this and I just didn't want to use it anymore, but it is a really beautiful highlight. There is dupes for this on the market though, so if you are looking to try this but you don't want to spend the money on it, there is dupes from Kiko that you can have a look at. And I think Makeup Revolution do one as well. But this is beautiful, and I can see myself in the future repurchasing it, but not at the moment. When you've used something for a full year, you kind of get to the point where you just need that little bit of a break from it, and this is where I'm at with this. Now we're on to brow products, and I have two. So the first one is this one, and this is by Benefit, and this is the 24-hour brow setter. This is fine. I don't dislike this. I used it every single day to the point it got to a point where I was like, this is looking a little bit gross now. I don't think I should be using this, but I used this for months and months and months. And it wasn't even in a project, so it was a good product, but this didn't have, I don't remember it having any colour. Did it have a colour? I don't remember it having a colour, but maybe it did. No, it's an invisible one, so it's a clear brow gel. If I were to get a set from Benefit, I would use that again. And then we have this one. This is the Eyeko brow gel. So this is the first brow product that I fell in love with. So back in 2019, I did makeup, but I hated emphasising my brows. It just wasn't something I enjoyed doing. And then in 2020, I started getting subscription boxes, and a subscription box introduced me to a mini of this. And I started to, you know, take care of my brows, you know, do my skincare and stuff when lockdown started. I just realised that I actually did really enjoy doing my brows when I used this product. So I bought it in a full size, and I've recently just finished this. Again, it's got to the point with this where I had to keep taking this out, putting it back in, taking it out, putting it back in to get the product, and it just wasn't working the way that it used to work. These are two products I can see myself repurchasing this one again in the future, and potentially repurchasing like a Benefit kit, because I've always wanted to try like one of the Benefit brow kits. I'm not going to repurchase these straight away because I have quite a few brow pencils in my collection that I need to get through before I repurchase any of these. But these are a lot easier to use in a morning. So like if you're rushing out and you just want to do a little something, brow gels are the best thing to use. Okay, now we're on setting spray. So I finished 3. So this first one is a cult classic that absolutely everybody uses. I'm really sorry that this looks dirty. I don't love this. I don't love it. I don't love it as much as I think everyone else does. I mean, if I were to get this again, I would use it, but I wouldn't go out and repurchase it. We then have this one by Pixi. This one you will remember because I've only just finished using this. I really like this. I love the way that it makes my skin look. I just hate the smell of this. There's just something about the smell of it I cannot stand. If I were to get it again, I would use it, but I won't go out and repurchase it. And this one, oh my god, I was so glad once this was being finished. At one point I nearly just stopped panning it because I thought I just really don't like it. This got absolutely everywhere, so when you sprayed it, it got all over your top. It got all over your top more than it did your actual face. I was just so glad once this was finished. I definitely wouldn't repurchase this one again. My favourite setting spray that I found is the Charlotte Tilbury one. I know it's pricey, but if you haven't tried it, it is beautiful. Honestly, go and try it. So those are the 3 I finished in 2021. Okay, and now we have mascaras. So I've got quite a lot here because I do use mascaras for 6 months, sometimes less depending on the formula. We have 8 mascaras here. I'm gonna kind of go through these a bit fast because I can see my battery is dying on my camera, which of course it is. So we have this one. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk. I did not like this. I know a lot of people raved about this, but this is too dry of a formula for me. I found it didn't really do a huge amount, which is a shame. We then have the Benefit Bad Girl Bang. I didn't mind this one. I much prefer the Roller Lash from Benefit though, so if I were to go for a Benefit mascara, it would always be that one over this. We then have the NARS Climax Extreme. I didn't like this at all. I found it didn't really do a lot to my lashes, which is surprising actually from NARS, because NARS is quite a good brand, but I didn't get along with this. This one though, I am absolutely going to repurchase. So I'm back. It's a little bit later. I just had to let my camera have a bit more charge so I can finish off this video. So I think the last one I was speaking about was this, which I didn't really like. I think that was what I last spoke about. So the next thing we have is this one, and this is the Benefit They're Real. My sister-in-law, this is one of her favourite mascaras. I didn't mind this one either. Like I said though, similar to the Bad Girl Bang, if I'm going to get one from Benefit, I think I'd much prefer to buy the Roller Lash. I find that that is the best one for my eyelashes because I have quite short eyelashes. Next one we have is this one. This one was from Maybelline. This was the Great Lash. This one was so bad. I wouldn't recommend this one. I found it did absolutely nothing, but I did use it for the time, even though I've got to the point now with mascaras where if I don't like it, I'm not gonna make myself use it because I'd rather use mascaras that I know I like. So I wouldn't recommend this one. This one was not good at all. But then I have this one. This is a subscription box favourite. So if you get subscription boxes, you know. But this is the Eyeko Lash Alert. This was okay. This was an okay mascara. I'm not gonna race out and repurchase it like I would the brow gel, but it was okay. We get so many of these in subscription boxes that I wouldn't need to go out and repurchase it because we get that many. When it comes to makeup, and I'm sure everyone else is very similar, I like to try new products, but if I absolutely 100% love that product, I will repurchase it. Like this one, for example. I absolutely love this one. I will repurchase this over and over and over again. And this one was just okay. And I'm not even sure whether I would use it again because I do like to try new stuff. And because I've tried this and it's not a favourite, I'd most probably pass this along if I got it again. And then we have this one from Too Faced. This is the Damn Girl Mascara. God, everything is so dirty. Sorry. This is the Damn Girl Mascara. This was good. This was really good. I do love, one of my favourite mascaras from Too Faced is Better Than Sex. I haven't tried that one for a while, but I tried this and this one is good. This one's good as well, so I would look at getting this again. I do want to try the Better Than Sex one again to see what I think as to whether I prefer this one now over that. And then last but no means least, we have these. So I finished 3 lip products in 2021. This one I've had to put in a bag because it was just getting absolutely everywhere. This was the one product that I took the stopper out of and it just leaked absolutely everywhere. So this was a Revolution lip gloss in Cake. So I completely finished it, but as you can see, it just was just leaking absolutely everywhere. I won't get this again. It wasn't a favourite. I have tried some other lip glosses that I much prefer, like the Fenty one. This to me had quite a old lip gloss formula, if that makes sense. You know, like one, like, you know, I would say in the last few years lip gloss has come on quite a long way, and to me this is very similar to like a lip gloss maybe back 4 years ago maybe. So not something I would repurchase again, but I'm glad I got it done and I'm glad I can throw that away because it is leaked everywhere. The next one we have is this one, and this one was in my projects this year. This is the L'Oreal Paris Collection Exclusive by Julianne in Julianne's Nude. So I completely finished that. This one was old. This was an old product, so I really did need to get it done this year. This used to be one of my favourite high street lipsticks back when I was at uni, and I have left uni. Next year will be 6 years. This is quite an old lipstick, so I really did need to get it out of my collection, and I have. And I did have a backup of this, but I actually gave that to my mum because I thought I have so many lipsticks. I have so many lipsticks that I didn't need another backup of this when it wasn't my favourite anymore. I don't even know, can you still buy these? I'm not even sure if you can still buy them. I have a few other ones of these by different people. So I've got the Eve one, I think, and I can't think what the other one is. I think the other one might be a JLo one, but the Julianne one was my favourite. And then we have this. This is one of my favourite MAC lipsticks, and this is definitely going to be something I will repurchase again in the future. This one is in Brave, so it looks, well, you can't really see it, that was the colour. I absolutely love it. I got this as a gift from my sister one Christmas when I was at uni, so again I really needed to use it up. I love this colour. This was like my colour. This is a me colour, so I'm going to pick this up again in the future. I really need to work through some lipsticks before I do that though. If I say that though, I still might even repurchase it because I do miss this from my collection. So this might be something I will pick up in 2022. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull all of these products that I've finished and we will have a look at it and hopefully we can see how much I have used. Okay, so this is all of the makeup I finished in 2021. When I have it all laid out like this, it is crazy that this is how much I've finished. Sometimes this is like the amount people have just in their collection, like overall. So I finished quite a lot of products. So I'll tell you overall how many I have finished. I have finished 37 makeup products in 2021. That is crazy. But I'm so happy to have got all of these out of my collection. Some of these, like we've spoken about, are some absolute holy grails. Some I will be repurchasing. Some that I have, you know, used up but not really enjoyed. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you enjoyed seeing all the products I finished. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and it'd mean the absolute world to me if you could subscribe if you don't already. And I would love to know below your thoughts and opinions on all the products I've finished. And until my next video, thank you for coming by. See you later.